Security has now been tightened outside Khushbu Sundar's residence in Chennai. This is following her remark over social media. Congress workers were protesting against Khushbu Sundar in Chennai. The actor-turned-politician had found herself in the middle of controversy after she used a particular word when she posted on social media platform X condemning members of the DMK. Purnima continues to be with us on this. Purnima, can you give us more context to why exactly Khushbu Sundar is facing the ire of the Congress party?
Well, in fact, remember Khushbu Sundar had condemned Mansoor Ali Khan when the actor had used derogatory remarks against Trisha. Khushbu was one of the first few to condemn this, and then she was trolled after she condemned this, where there were people on social media condemning her, saying that she has been silent on several other issues, including meat and other stuff, and only coming out now, and has been selective about her opinion as far as there are certain issues that are concerned. So therefore, in fact, there were trolls that she faced, and while she was responding to one of them, she had used the derogatory word Cheri. In Tamil, it means that targeting the oppressed community, and that's why she was trolled ever since then. Khushbu, however, after facing backlash, had clarified that Cheri is a French word and she did not use it in the Tamil word context. That's something that she had maintained. However, there have been protests that have been happening in and around her residence. These are the visuals that are coming. We are coming to you live from outside Khushbu Sundar's residence, where there's heavy police personnel here because the Congress a short while ago had earlier staged protests condemning Khushbu for using the word Cheri, even though Khushbu had clarified that that's a French word and that she has been misquoted. She has been facing protests. The Congress earlier staged protests, and there have been many organizations, especially Dalit organizations, that have also condemned it. Some of them are planning to stage protests, which is why heavy police personnel outside Khushbu Sundar's residence, they are trying to ensure that no protesters do not enter this lane that leads to Khushbu's residence. You can see there's a rope there. The police, there's heavy police presence right on the main road, so that protesters do not come and enter this lane. So you can see these live visuals. She continues to face backlash, and there have been protests planned against Khushbu, which is why heavy police personnel outside her residence. Back to you.
Right, and we'll just come across to you, Purnima, and try and get in those live visuals coming in of those dramatic protests that are taking place outside Khushbu Sundar's residence. The anger over the comment, despite her clarification for the last few days, has been brewing. The Congress now hitting the streets, and that has prompted the state government to strengthen security. More police deployment has been done outside her residence there, so as to ensure that there is no untoward incident and that these protests do not get out of hand. Purnima, you are in the thick of all the action there. Take us through.
Well, if you can see, that's Khushbu Sundar's residence. Outside her residence, you can see at least 4 to 5 police personnel deployed. And towards the main road, 10 to 15 more police personnel deployed. Remember, this is her residence. Outside her residence, there's heavy police presence to ensure that protesters do not barge in, because there have been many organizations that have announced protests. Earlier today, we saw Congress workers staging protests. And if I can walk you through this particular lane, you can see heavy police deployment here. On the main road, there are ropes, there are barricades to try and ensure that protesters or unidentified people do not enter this lane. Considering the backlash that Khushbu has faced, you can see every vehicle that tries to enter this lane, they are being checked, and there are also ropes in place to ensure that only those who are staying in this locality are allowed inside, others are not allowed inside. We've seen many organizations, including Dalit organizations, announcing protests, which is why this entire stretch is currently under heavy police presence. You can see a lot of police officials deployed on the main road. There is a rope there, it's closed. Every vehicle that tries to enter this lane is checked, and Khushbu Sundar, as we speak, is currently inside her residence. And as she's come back to Chennai, we've seen a couple of protests outside her residence, and to ensure that no untoward incident is reported here, protesters who are trying to enter this lane, they are being stopped right there. A short while ago, we saw dramatic visuals unfold when Congress staged protests. Khushbu, remember, had clarified that the word Cheri is a French word. She did not use it in a derogatory context, and even after she clarified, there have been political protests, including DMK Congress staging protests against Khushbu Sundar, and also some of the Dalit organizations staging protests, which is why here, right on the main road, there are at least 10 police officials deployed, and more police personnel will be deployed in the coming hours, considering that there have been a couple of protests right in and around her residence. We are going to see some more dramatic protests, even as Khushbu had clarified. Remember, Khushbu still is still inside her residence, and there are protests that are announced. We've seen a couple of protests now, and therefore heavy police presence even on the main road that leads to Khushbu Sundar's residence. Back to you.